Normally when it comes to gaming, I traditionally have chosen to mainly align myself with the PC platform, although I will freely admit that I am also somewhat of a casual PlayStation fan myself, as if establishing myself as a connoisseur of both PC titles and console titles doesn't make me revolting enough to both the PC elitists and console peasants alike. I will also make one additional revelation: I do enjoy playing mobile games. Well, not just any mobile games, let's not get carried away with ourselves, but good mobile games. What's that you say? Aren't all mobile games bad? Isn't the mobile marketplace the steaming radioactive waste pile of garbage where games are shoveled out in order to maximize profits for the publisher by implementing overtly aggressive monetization practices aimed at a casual audience who aren't quite as likely as traditional gamers to rise up and throw a fit at the mere mention of some of the said monetization practices? Well, yes indeed. However, as with anything, there can be exceptions to the rule, and Into the Dead 2 is one of them. Hello everyone, this is WarriorDan, and welcome back to another episode of What is the Point Of, and today we are breaking tradition with this series and indulging ourselves in a non-PC game. Why? Well, for Christmas I got a iPad Pro of some kind, and so have the capacity to record gameplay in fairly high quality. So I figured it might be fun to use that to our advantage and review some mobile games that at least try to make an effort to be good. Into the Dead 2 is a narratively driven, first-person run-and-gun game, where the player takes control of a character named James, a father who finds himself stranded in the middle of the zombie apocalypse, running for his life in order to reunite with his daughter Maggie and his sister Helen. After a car crash, he's forced to run directly back to his family, using what weapons he has on him in order to fend off any stray zombies that get in his way. In terms of weapons, the player starts with a single pistol, although a secondary weapon, a shotgun, will be provided after progressing farther into the campaign. The game is divided into specific levels, and will always start and end with opening and closing cinematics, where James will interact with his family using the walkie-talkie he has on him. The in-game choice of relaying narrative information and developing character relationships via a static radio device reminds me strongly of games like Firewatch, although the games are in every other respect entirely different from one another. Later in the game you'll also unlock a pet companion. If you choose, you can have your dog accompany you in any level. Your dog will also help you by eliminating individual nearby zombies, helping you clear a path, allowing you to focus less on shooting and more on running and dodging. However, your dog acts essentially as a perk or power-up in the game, requiring specific preconditions in order to be added to your loadout. Specifically, you've got to feed your dog. Dogs require dog treats, which can be found in, you guessed it, loot boxes. At the end of every level, the player will get at least one loot box, which can contain weapon parts, which if you get enough weapon parts for a specific weapon, allows you to unlock that weapon permanently and add it to your loadout. Or you can find other loot box items like money used to purchase weapon upgrades, and you can also find dog treats, which you can use to order your dog to join you as a helpful companion in the next level. After completing a level and unlocking the first loot box, players can choose to get up to 2 additional loot boxes for free by watching sponsored advertisements. You can get more loot boxes by replaying older levels and accomplishing specific milestones in order to get higher scores. So even if you don't like ads, there's more than one way to get free loot boxes. The problem I have with this system is that many of these items do directly affect in-game progress. While it is not necessary to have a dog or certain weapons in order to beat a level, it does feel like the game dances dangerously close to being overtly restrictive with its content. For the purposes of this review, I did buy a DLC pack that gave me access to a weapon, a specific dog breed, and some loot boxes, all for around $9.99, mostly in order to see how big an impact this would have on my gaming experience. The dog was no more noticeably efficient than the one offered for free. The gun, a semi-automatic whose name I'm not even going to bother to remember, was balanced fairly reasonably, and I do believe it was also unlockable through in-game progression, so it wasn't by any means a pay-to-win exclusive. The DLC did pave the way for a slightly easier in-game experience, but I didn't feel like it unbalanced the game in my favor to any remarkable degree. I know that sounds kind of contradictory, but my point is it felt like it was within the bounds of acceptability. Currently, I've played through the entire first campaign of the game, and am about to start the second. The first campaign can be played through in roughly 45 to 50 minutes, so it by no means is comparable to games like Skyrim, but for a pick-up-and-play mobile game, that's not a bad start. And I, as of now, have yet to completely play through the entire game, so I can only speculate on what the actual full length of the game is. But after a quick overview of the second campaign, which has roughly the same amount of quests as the first one did, I think it's safe to say players can look forward to at least an hour and a half to 2 hours of playable content. The visual fidelity of the character models, lighting, and environmental effects in the game, as I'm sure you can see for yourself on screen, are remarkably good, while the on-screen UI, on the other hand, leaves a bit to be desired. I do have to give this game credit for at least being one step above what most can come to expect from a mobile game. If this was a PC game, I would refer to the graphics as decent, but the fact that it's on mobile really makes me start to wonder how soon the technology gap between mobile gaming and PC and console gaming may allow for full-length, graphically demanding games to not only be ported, but developed specifically with mobile platforms in mind. If you're looking for a simple pick-up-and-play game that has a moderately investing and compelling story to keep you going, and features microtransactions that aren't at least excruciatingly painful to look at, and at least make the effort to be quasi-reasonable, then Into the Dead 2 might just be a game worth keeping an eye on. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to continue marathoning The West Wing on Netflix, and I'll see you all in a couple days with a new What is the Point of video. If you liked this review and would be interested in potentially seeing more mobile games added into the mix of PC reviews, give this video a like and tell me what you think about this game or my review down in the comments below. For those who found me semi-bearable and my opinions at least somewhat useful, the subscribe button is down below. I do publish new reviews every week, so you do well to opt into notifications so you know when a new video goes live. This is WarriorDan signing out. Stay awesome everybody, and peace out.